Welcome into the CHGO Bets Daily Podcast. Can we, hey, Brax, can we restart that? Is it possible? One, three, two. Heyo! Welcome into CHGO Bets Daily. Coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me is my partner in degeneracy, Cody Delmendo. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_Bets. Greg Braggs is unfortunately producing us. Braggs, how you feeling? Purdue Boilermakers season starting soon. Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is called the Brick by Brick Studios. Thank you very much.
Is it because there's bricks on the wall?
That is why.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't hate it. I also think that there are bricks on the walls of Studio A as well, though. It's
Don't
a brick
let
building.
the facts get in the way of a good story, as a wise man once said.
We should bring that wise man in. Cody Delmendo is next to me. We'll be talking Bulls-Mavericks. We'll be talking MACtion. And we'll be talking Game 5 of the World Series. We're looking at the CIRCA Sports Illinois Live odds right now. Rangers minus 102 to win Game 5. Diamondbacks minus 108. So a very tight split there. I'm just thinking the Rangers are feeling it. I like that minus 102. Why not? I just close it out there. Did you know that the Giants won in 2010 against the Rangers on November 1st? So Bruce Bochy could win 2 World Series, beating the Rangers and then winning it. Yeah, so
I did not know that. That's
kinda,
news to me.
I think that's fun.
That is fun.
So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to first start off with the Bulls. Bulls are taking on the Mavericks. Mavericks are 4.5-point favorites at home. Over-under is 224. Cody, I know you've been red hot as of late.
You just
mentioned that you bet on 3 NBA games last night. I know you're sprinkling on the player props. What you got tonight specifically coming out of the Bulls game?
So after starting 0-7 on the NBA season on opening night, I have moved myself down to 1 Bulls player prop per game because you got to start somewhere. And Sean, I told you this last week. I am going to get good at betting the NBA. If I can get good at betting baseball like I did this year, I am determined to get good at betting the NBA this year. So the last Bulls prop, if you follow me on Twitter or if you follow CHGO Bets Daily on Twitter, was Nikola Vucevic over 2.5 assists. And in the last game, he went over. It was kind of a sweat, but he did, in fact, go over. Tonight, we're going back to Nikola Vucevic. And this time it's for points and rebounds, over 27.5 total for that. And the reason being, in 4 games against the Mavericks last year, Vooch went over that total 3 of the 4 games.
Oh, yeah.
The Mavericks last year were one of the worst rebounding teams in all the NBA. To emphasize that, they were 30th in total rebounds. They were 30th in offensive rebounds, and they were 28th in defensive rebounds last year, of course.
That doesn't sound good.
Right. This year, I know the Mavericks, it seems like they're off to a good start, I think. But
they haven't lost a game, so that helps.
But Vucevic is also coming off a nice game, and I know it's the Bulls, and you can't predict anything that's going on with them, which makes betting them or anything on them tough. That's why I'm staying away from the spread, even though they are 3-1 and against the Mavericks against the spread since the start of the 2021 season. But in his last game against the Pacers, he put up 41 in total of rebounds and points, 24-17 game. So he went well over this number last game. This year he's 1-4 at trying to get over this total. But I just like the matchup, and I like him to have back-to-back good games because his first 3 games, he did struggle, and then he's better than what he was those 3 games. So I think he gets at least a double-double tonight, and I think he's at least putting up 18.
Yeah, no, I love the rebound bet specifically. Those are great numbers there. Doncic is their leading rebounder at nearly 12 a game. So it's basically, who do you trust more, the 7-foot guy or, the 6'8" point guard, basically. And hey, no disrespect to Doncic, but a lot of his rebounds are kind of planned, right? It's all right, let's clear out on a missed shot. Luka's going to grab the rebound and then push us up the floor. The only real threat that you have for Vucevic is Lively, who's getting 20.3 minutes per game, but he's a rookie and he's only averaging 6 rebounds per game in 20 minutes. So I really love that bet.
On most books, you can get it at -110, so even.
For the points and rebounds?
For the points and rebounds prop, yes.
I don't know. I mean, he just got 19 shots, so I do like it. I mean, he's getting more involved, and they're getting him more involved. It seems like his actual field goal percentage has been good. I like the bet. The issue is, we talked about us getting serious about gambling, and you did, and you've been red hot. It's not that I haven't been bad. It's just that I've made like 3 fatal mistakes, and that is how you lose in gambling. So I'm kind of pissed. I was doing a real good job, and then it hasn't been fun in the past 2 weeks. So I'm kind of slowing off of it. But all of that information, I think, is absolutely actionable. I really like that. So whether it be
good odds, if you just want to do the rebounds prop at 11.5, you get it at +110 or plus money on almost any book out there. But against the Mavericks, dating back to 2021, he has not gone over 10. He's gotten 10 total, but not gone over the 10, which is actually kind of interesting because considering everything I just said about the rebounds prop. Or the rebound stats for the Mavericks. But that's why I'm going with the points and rebounds prop instead, just because I do think he'll have a nice game points-wise, and I think he's a double-double machine. I'd bet on him to get a double-double every game if the odds were good, but they're never good. He's almost automatic to do it. But
and the last game, too, just to bring it up, like no one on the Grizzlies went over 10, but
in the Mavericks.
In the Mavericks last game, the Grizzlies played, but Jaren Jackson Jr. had 9, Tillman had 9, Williams had 7. It was 9, 7, 7, 7. So, I mean, like, if there's 44 boards, you basically just have to look at, like, I think the other odds for the Bulls players, and it's just basically, I mean, realistically, out of 44 rebounds, how many will Vooch grab? I don't think 12 is crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. So, if you want the extra, you want that extra juice. I know we all want the extra juice. We pride ourselves on extra juice on this show. I don't hate it. So,
yeah, they have not allowed double-digit rebounds this year, which is weird because they're so bad at rebounding. So it kind of,
at least last year they were.
Everyone gets fed. In that first Spurs game, everyone, at least in the starting lineup, had 5 rebounds.
Yeah. So, again, that's the bet for the Bulls bet for me tonight. Ever since opening night, I'm 2-1 on Bulls prop bets.
Let's go.
So
let's make it 3-1.
I'm trying to go 3-1. I did go 2-1 last night, so I'm 3-2 in my last 5 on NBA bets. So,
and that's a winning record. Shai Gilgeous, what do you like?
Oh yes, I forgot. I just like him as a player. I think the market was low on him to start the year. Against the Bulls, as we watched, he shredded the Bulls defense. So I'm kind of just going back to the well because I bet on him last week, I think in game 2 of the season for him. And the line was at 28.5. And now tonight's line is at 70.5. And as far as points, head-to-head against the Pelicans in his career, or at least since in his last 8 games. In his last 8 games against the Pelicans, he has gone over 30.5 points. Dating back to last year, he's gone over it in 3 of the 4 games from last year. So I like him to have another good game. And I know he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he's very efficient. He's as we saw against the Bulls. The Pelicans are they're a fine defensive team last year. They were ranked 8th in points allowed in the NBA last year, but I just feel like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is being way undervalued going in, like, to start this year, because he put up a ton of points last year. And he's done that so far this year. In the 4 games that they've had, he's gone over 30 points in 3 of the 4. He had a bad game against Denver, but Denver won the NBA title.
Right.
So,
and I don't really know who's their best guard. I guess it's CJ, but CJ is not known for his defense. I know he's fairly aggressive stealing the ball, but I mean, I don't think that he's a lockdown defender.
Right.
I don't know who their point guard is. I guess it's Jordan Hawkins out of UConn. So I'd take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the polished pro, over Hawkins, even though he was electric in that tournament. So I love that prop. Good job with those. Also want to let you know about our friends over at CIRCA Sportsbook before we get into some MACtion. Our friends at CIRCA, Cody's wearing the hat, show it off for the people. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the CIRCA Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use a -115 or -120 split. Those tight money line splits are best for you, the better. That means that less of your money is going to the sportsbook. You're paying less vig, and that means if you put $25 on something that's -110, you're going to basically be getting $24 back. If you're putting it on -120, your $25 is like $20. That's not good investing, right? You want to be taking the best lines possible, and CIRCA always strives to have the best lines. It's the world's largest sports book at your fingers. And hey, if you don't believe them, compare the lines to other sports books and see for yourself how good the lines are from CIRCA. CIRCA has great customer service. There are real people behind the CIRCA Sports brands who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. And all aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main CIRCA Sportsbook at CIRCA Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Cody, one word to describe CIRCA Sports in Las Vegas.
Fabulous.
Iconic. Download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app, circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for CIRCA events, watch parties, and tailgate. They got a location up in Waukegan at the Temporary. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, text GMB 833-234, or visit areyourreallywinning.com. I'm more pissed off with gambling. I'm more annoyed with gambling.
We all go through it.
There are times where, there's part of responsible gambling is not chasing your losses or not, going too outside of your limits. I have a unit limit. I set it. And then there was a couple moments where, hey, I really thought the Phillies were going to just eliminate the Diamondbacks.
Same.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
That cost me money. Yeah. Mad. And then there was another one too, where it was like, why not bet 2 units on this goal scoring prop in soccer? That's real smart of me. So I just want to let people know, hey, just stick to what's working. It seems like you're doing that. And it seems like when you have a plan and you are betting smartly, it goes well for people. So, it can go well for you, but it's just when you get away from it and you bet on Luke DeYoung to be an anytime goal scorer, you don't know shit about soccer. That's a heat check for me. Well, okay? So, I sometimes this little phone needs to be taken away from me.
Well, that said, I have 2 plays on MACtion tonight, and I know nothing about these football teams based off, or at least a day ago, I didn't know anything about these 2 football teams.
Let me tell you something. I know one thing about this Akron-Zips matchup, that Akron and Kent State are power rated as the 2 worst teams in football. So it's a cold night out, get a bowl of chili, and sit down and watch Kent State and Akron, Ohio's finest.
Ohio's finest, baby. Let's start with the somewhat fun game, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's MACtion, so it's always fun.
I think the funnest game is the worst game.
Perhaps.
Start wherever you like.
I'm going to start with Ball State and Bowling Green, all right? Because I just don't understand the odds on this. Kyle Kelly, I want to say that's how you say his name. Kyle Kelly is a quarterback for Ball State. Ball State's offense is one of the worst in college football. They rank 129 in all of college football. That's out of 133 teams. Correct, Sean?
Yes, 130.
They rank 129th in scoring offense.
It's not good.
So they are awful offensively. Kyle Kelly under a half touchdown. So that means if he just can't throw any touchdowns. And the thing is he hasn't thrown for a touchdown all season. Literally all season. And on top of that, Ball State runs the ball like so much more than they even pass the ball. Last week, they ran 18 passing plays.
And you want to know what's funny?
The week before, 16.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Their EPA per rush, 132. So what they do, they're the second worst in all of college football at it. So they run the ball as much as you're saying, and they suck at it.
Well, I was going to say that they're rushing. They're ranked 91st in the country. All right, like I don't understand why Kyle Kelly's over under on touchdowns is at plus 120. I think that's where I got it at on the book that I made it on. And on top of it, for the entire year, he has 6 total red zone passing attempts. 6 total, and you get it at plus money on almost any sportsbook out there. Make it make sense. He has 6 total red zone attempts for Kyle Kelly for Ball State. And he has no passing touchdowns all season. And I understand that I think there was someone else was starting. So the last 2 weeks is the most that he has thrown the ball. But they like we just said, they run the ball a ton. And on top of it, Bowling Green is ranked 28th in passing yards in the country. They are ranked 28th in passing yards allowed. They allow 195 per game. All right. So how are they like, okay, if Ball State is even in this game, they're going to probably be moving the ball via the run. If they do. I think the spread on this game is 5.5 points. I lean Bowling Green, but MACtion is MACtion. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and that's like the only thing that makes me think, okay, maybe he finally throws a touchdown this year just because it's the start of MACtion and just how things go in this conference gets so wacky. But like at plus money, the fact that he hasn't thrown one all season, like make it make sense to me. I have to play this. I'm going to hate myself if I don't play this. I also like the under on his passing yards, which is at, Sean, 124.5. His passing yards line is 124.5. The most he's thrown all season is 101 last week.
I hate how much you're talking me into this. I need you to stop. You're very convincing. And again, now I feel like betting the farm on this kid, and I've just heard about him.
On him his unders, because like I
don't understand the line too of it being 5. At Stats of War put out advanced stats previews where he takes in the EPA and passing rush of offense and defense for both teams. The projected score of this is 27-10. You think? I mean, this says Bowling Green's going to win by 17.
Yeah,
the line's 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, if you look at the matchup, like, okay, I just said that Ball State is one of the worst offenses in the country at 129th in scoring. Bowling Green's 103rd. I guess that's not any better, but they have a better red zone efficiency than Ball State. Like they just like it's not like light years better, but in most of their stats, but they're like Bowling Green is better than Ball State in literally every ranking out there. And like I don't understand why the line is 5.5, but I'm scared. So
well,
I don't want to be completely scared, so I'm taking the prop.
I like the prop. Let's get into the other game too. Kent State versus Akron, and let's be quick with this because I got White Sox soon. These are the 2 worst teams in college football. So hide your kids, hide your wife, hide yourself, lock your doors, close the blinds, turn the lights off. Kent State versus Akron is probably on ESPNU. At Stats of War is projecting Akron to win by 3, count them, 3 points, an 18-15 game. That sounds like a ton of field goals. Where can I bet Kent State Akron field goals? Oh God, let me go find the line.
Yeah.
Stat. What the fuck do you do with this game? Are you touching this game?
I'm taking Kent State plus 4.5. I got it at 4.5.
Jesus.
Just because like both teams are so bad, man. Like Kent State, they're actually worse than Ball State. They're 133rd in the country in scoring. They average 12 points a game, right? And then Akron 131st. They average 15 points per game. So, yeah, maybe the under is the safe bet. But, again, MACtion, it's chaos happens. There was chaos happening last night between Buffalo and freaking whoever the heck they played. Toledo. It was like 5 or 6 fumbles in that game. It's just so crazy. So I don't like it just because weird shit happens. But I just don't think it's going to be a blowout. And you're giving me a field goal plus another 1.5. Like I feel like it's going to come down to like the very end on a field goal.
I think a field goal could be the decider. 3-0 gets you a cover. This is an ugly game, and there is unfortunately no field goal props posted, which God, I would love to bet on. But yeah, no, it really doesn't seem like any of these teams do anything well. So it's just going to be the ugliest game of football you ever did see. The only thing that I think to back Akron, if this line was 3. I would love to take it, but it's not even 3.5. It's not 4. It's 4.5. So at that point, I'm just away from it because you're off a key number of 4 or 3. So I don't mind the Kent State play, but Kent State lost their head coach last year, Sean Lewis. He's now in Colorado as their offensive coordinator. Maybe that's. I don't think Kent State's bounced back from that. I don't think Sean Lewis was bringing them in a really great direction. I don't think they've really have the great athletic department to get another shining star like that. So I think that maybe that's the downside of Kent State, and maybe that's where it wins for Akron. But ugly game. Take the under. This feels like Iowa Northwestern 29.5 vibes. Final bets here. I think you got a couple more.
No, I think that's it.
No, you got one more.
Did I have one more?
Yeah, you got Corey Seager.
Oh yeah, Corey Seager over 2.5.
Connor Bedard's blocking it.
Yeah, over 2.5 hits, runs plus RBIs.
What? I don't even think your mic's on.
You know what?
People don't know what because they can't hear you.
And that's why it was supposed to be for me and you. It was supposed to be private, and then you made it public. That was your decision.
People love when they can barely hear someone off mic. That's good producing.
I like it. Like if somebody makes a good joke and then somebody in the background's like, that's great.
I liked your fake laugh.
Anyway,
Cody's like, I'm just over here.
You can play Santa at the mall.
I'm going back to the well. Last night, Corey Seager, I took him over total bases because it was 2.5 on hits, runs, and RBIs, and I was afraid to take it. And what did he do? He had a 2-run bomb. Yeah, he had a 2-run bomb. So if I would have taken that, I would have made more money because it was at plus odds. Tonight, I'm not being afraid. I'm gonna take him again tonight. I'd also say Marcus Simeon's not a bad play. I know Zach Gallen's pitching, but he hasn't pitched well his last 3 starts in the postseason. So he's either due or he's going to continue to be bad. And at this point, I do feel like it's the Rangers. I can't say it because I watched the team come back from 3-1 and it was the happiest day of my life. But
it's a tough stop. It's tough spot for that bullpen though. Yeah. They just had a bullpen game.
Just had a bullpen game, and Corey Seager is just it's like they lost Adolis Garcia, and he just, stepped right in and made up for it. And he was already playing well before Garcia got hurt. So he's going to be hitting second in the lineup. He's going to get the second most at bats in the game. You just need, I could see him getting 1 hit and hitting a homer, a 3-run homer, You know what I mean? Or you can get 2 hits and drive in a run. I just feel like it doesn't matter who's on the mound at plus 110. I'm hammering it to until I see otherwise.
There's a good tune out there by All American Rejects called "It Ends Tonight." Game over.
Great song.
I think I'll take the Rangers on the money line. Right? Let's go listen to All American Rejects. Let's
hate
show and win some money gambling.
I hate to say it for our friends at PHNX, but yeah, I think it's over.
The fact that they got to the World Series is an accomplishment in its own right. I know you and I would both be loving to do coverage of Game 5 where our team's down 3-1 in the World Series. They got to the World Series. I'll take it.
Well, Cody has a chance at that. You will never have a chance at that.
Hey, Greg, there's 2 teams in the World Series this year. No, the Diamondbacks the Rangers are the only teams that are going to the World Series in 2023. That's all I was talking about.
Cubs up next.
You're a moron. That's Greg Braggs. Don't follow him at gbraggs Junior 23. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him at Cody_CHGO. Good vibes for Cody. Hopefully his gambling streak continues. And I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Follow the show at CHGO_Bets. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.
Can you post this? Because I got socks. Sure.